Over an acre of ground lay dead and dying people. You could not see which was which, except perhaps by a convulsive movement or the last quiver of a sigh from a living skeleton too weak to move. The living lay with their heads against the corpses, and around them moved the awful ghostly procession of emaciated, aimless people, with nothing to do and no hope of life, unable to move out of your way, unable to look at the terrible sights around them. There was no privacy, nor did men or women ask it any longer. Women stood and squatted, stark naked in the dust, trying to wash themselves and to catch the lice on their bodies. Babies had been born here, tiny, wizen things that could not live. A mother, driven mad, screamed at a British sentry to give her milk for her child, and thrust the tiny mite into his arms and ran off, crying terribly. He opened the bundle and found the baby had been dead for days. This day at Belsen was the most horrible of my life.
This is London calling. Here is a news flash. The German radio has just announced that Hitler is dead. I repeat that. The German radio has just announced that Hitler is dead.
I'm standing in the little village of Lauenburg, and I'm watching the sight that we'd hoped we'd see for six long years. The German army coming into surrender, driving into surrender on its own petrol with its own drivers into the British lines. Since 2 o'clock this morning, this endless stream of transport has been pouring through this town, under the white flags hung over the shattered houses by the inhabitants, who are standing in the streets looking dumbfounded at this wreckage of the Wehrmacht that's going past us.
Hello, BBC. This is Chester Wilmot speaking from Field Marshal Montgomery's tactical headquarters on a high, windswept hill on the wild Lüneburger Heath near the River Elbe. It's 10 minutes past 6 on Friday, May the 4th. The commanders of the German forces opposing Field Marshal Montgomery's 21st Army Group have come to this headquarters today to surrender.
The German command agrees to the surrender of all German armed forces in Holland, in northwest Germany, including the Frisian Islands and Heligoland and all other islands, in Schleswig-Holstein and in Denmark, to the Commander-in-Chief, 21st Army Group. This to include all naval ships in these areas. These forces to lay down their arms and to surrender unconditionally. All hostilities on land, on sea, or in the air by German forces in the above areas to cease at 0800 hours British double summer time on Saturday, the 5th of May, 1945.
Hello, BBC. This is Thomas Cadet reporting from Supreme Headquarters. Yes, I saw it. In the small hours of this morning, May the 7th, 1945, I saw the formal acknowledgement by Germany's present leaders, military leaders of their country's complete and utter defeat by land, in the air and at sea. The final act, General Jodel's signed admission of unconditional surrender, had little or nothing outwardly dramatic about it. The whole ceremony, in fact, was carried out on a cold and businesslike basis, which was not increased in dignity by numerous scurrying photographers, the glare of powerful lights, and the popping of flashlight bulbs. If the sense of drama was there, and it was because we carried it in our own hearts, remembering that this meant liberation, freedom from suffering, and spared lives for countless thousands in tortured Europe. It was not the ceremony that mattered, but the thing itself.